Yeah, first of all, appreciate everybody coming out today. Exciting times, obviously, to be able to get all these transfer guys now into school. Excited to get 9 new members of the family here off of it, and obviously some important, we thought, position needs, for us, adding 3 wide receivers, 3 DBs, 2 defensive linemen, and a quarterback too as well. So I'll just talk briefly about each guy, and then if you guys have any questions after that. So I'll start with the wide receivers. BJ Fleming, coming to us from Northern Arizona. The thing that excites me about BJ is he's played a lot of college football. He's been in those battles and produced. I think a reoccurring theme that as we studied our roster was to find some guys that we felt like were really guys that can win on the edge and win with speed, and those are things that BJ has proven to be able to do. He's played in 20 games. Like I said, he's been productive, and excited to have BJ on campus. And then the other 2 receivers that we have are a little bit different in stature. They're more slot type bodies off of it, and maybe haven't played as much yet in college football, but have had really good prep careers and have shown that they can be productive in that part of their journey. So Christian Hoskins, obviously a local guy off of it. Alexandria High School was a top 10 finalist for Minnesota Mr. Football, and has had some reps at the University of Minnesota. We think he's a guy that is super dynamic. He can do some things with us, not only on offense, but in the kicking game too as well, returning punts and returning kicks. So awesome to have Christian here. And then also Jamal Young coming to us from Arizona State. Same thing there. Was Scout Team Player of the Year his first year there. Jamal also was a state 100-meter champion too as well in the state of Arizona. So I just think the theme there was to be able, like I said, to find some guys that we felt that could win on the edges, and then win with speed too as well. And then going into the 3 DBs, Nate Frankfather off of it. He comes to us from Mount Jacinto Junior College. He had a really good career there. That's Southern California. It's close to the areas that I was recruiting when I was in Southern California. So really to be able to get a skill set like Nate, he's a big-bodied safety. He's 6'2". He's probably 210 pounds. He really looks the part, moves well, so has all those skills and traits that we really want in the defensive backfield. And then also Zach Lewis too as well. Zach's very similar to BJ. Comes to us from NAU. Was an all-conference, all Big Sky safety for NAU last year, and just absolutely, has a great personality. A guy who grew up in Florida, went to high school then in Arizona, just with his family moving, and I think he's a guy, as you watch his film, been there and done that too as well. Like a guy who's really good at getting people on the ground, has had to cover some high-level guys, in the Big Sky Conference already. So super excited to have Zach. And then Bennett Walker would be the 3rd DB. Bennett was with us at San Diego State a year ago, was rotating as a starter for us, and started the entire year before that at Eastern Michigan. So another guy that brings a lot of snaps, to our team, and has kind of been there, done that, and understands that, this thing is a marathon and not a sprint. I think to have his maturity, in that position group is something that we value too as well. So the last piece of the offense, Javance Tupawada Johnson. Javance comes to us from San Diego State too as well. Was a backup quarterback there last year. Started a game, really played well in some of the games he came in and had to spell our starter at that time, specifically the Wazoo game. So excited about him. Athletically, looks the part. When you see him, he'll be, between 6'3" and 6'4". He's 220 pounds. He can make plays with his arm, with his feet. So was really, I think, important for us to be able to add some competition into the quarterback room too as well. So excited about Javance. And then the other 2 defensive linemen off of it, Kaiwan Vengrowski, all-conference guy at Winona here the last 2 years, has put up really good stats in the NSIC, a guy that's really starving to be able to get to this level and prove that he can do it at the Division I level too as well. So awesome to have Kai here. And then the last one is Emmanuel and Ola Baju off of it. Emmanuel's a guy who comes to us from St. Thomas. Started and played early in the season and unfortunately had a season-ending injury off of it, but 6'2", maybe a little bit over that, 300 pounds, moves well, was really playing well early in the season. You turn on the film against, I don't know specifically, just remembering watching him against Northern Iowa, like, hey, he was disruptive in there, can be a guy that can do the things that we want him to do as a 3 technique in the 4-2-5, can hold the point, can move and can create some havoc in the middle of the defensive front there for us. So excited about those guys. And then just one other thing I'll mention before I open up to questions. Added 2 new coaches here since last time we talked to you. So John Anderson will be our edges coach. John brings a wealth of experience. You know, been a head coach, a successful head coach, was 40-17 at the University of Sioux Falls. You know, was at ODU last year. I think brings a lot of value. Just a guy who can see it kind of from that 30,000-foot view of how a program needs to be run, and has that wisdom, you know, and be able to bring to our staff. And then Markel Pete, director of player personnel. You know, I think Markel is got a really good reputation in the recruiting industry of being able to build relationships, and I really think has a gift to be able to talk to guys, whether they're from, you know, rural areas or populated areas. Like, he's a guy that is going to be a very valued member, you know what I mean, of our staff. So happy to have those 2 guys on board too as well. So I'll open it up to any questions.
As you filled out your defensive staff, what do you plan to do with the defensive coordinator role? How do you want to handle that?
Yeah, the plan right now is I'm going to call it off of it. I won't coach a position. Still want to be able to be involved on game day when needed on the offensive side of the ball. I think have a lot of confidence in Isaac and what he's been able to do here. You know, so we'll have some input obviously on key situations, but you know, I just think you hire guys and you let those guys go do their job. I'm not going to micromanage them, and I really feel, like I said, confident in what he's able to do and in his leadership on that side of the ball, and just feel like you know, what we want to do here defensively. I think it's really important that we get things taught the right way right out of the gate. And I think that's, you know, obviously doing this a few times here now, you want to make sure that, you know, those early, you know, if you want to call them transition periods, are as seamless as they can be. And you know, just feel like, hey, it's an important deal here that we get off and play really good championship defense early on in my tenure here. And I just feel like, you know, that we can do that. And the best way to be able to do that is to have me calling it.
And you probably just hit on it there with some responsibilities towards Coach Frichte. But is there a game management piece then that gets spread out, or how do you do the in-game logistical part of that thing?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, it's been done a lot, you know what I mean, as far as guys calling plays and still being able to handle some of those things. I think it gets a little bit easier now with analytics and things like that. You know, you go into games, obviously being able, there's a guy on the sideline who has a book, who's going to talk to you about, hey, is this a go? Is it not a go? When to use timeouts? You know, all those types of things. And you know, we've used those now, you know, for the last 6 seasons, and really feel confident in, you know, when to listen to the book and when to maybe, you know, add your own twist and your own feeling of how the game's going. Is the game on the road? Is it at home? You know, I mean, all those types of things. Is momentum on your side, isn't it? So I definitely feel like there's a lot of tools, you know what I mean, available to coaches to be able to help in those situations.
Have you consulted anybody who's gone this route as head coach, play caller, or have you seen it around the league? I can't think of an instance that anybody else is doing this.
Yeah, I mean, last year obviously was with Sean Lewis, and Sean called the offense at San Diego State. So you know, being in those meetings and talking about, you know, all the game plan prep and getting into the situational stuff, I think was a good learning experience for me. And then, you know, the whole time that I've really been gone from Grand Forks has been as a special teams coordinator. So obviously you're involved in all the kicking situations, all the end of quarter, end of half, end of game situations too as well. So just having having that knowledge, and having the the ability to be able to make those decisions when you're in that seat off it, I think is really been helpful for me moving forward.
Last one for me before I pass this thing on. What's your plan for spring ball in terms of how you roll it out? It's similar as in the past, or what's your plan?
Yeah, I mean, right now, we're worried about January 15th. To be honest with you, got this thing off the ground here. I think, talking to our guys the first 2 days, I want it to be as seamless and as clean of a run organization as it can be, and I think our guys really see that. Coach Stein's been off to a great start with our strength and conditioning department too as well. The one thing that I think we're really emphasizing is just genetically we want to get better. So the strength and conditioning piece of this thing I think is huge for us. So we're gonna extend that as long as we can. So I know spring ball I think around here has probably started a little bit earlier at times. Like we won't have anything as far as on the field until after spring break, and that's designed so our guys can maximize the weight room here as much as they can. We want to build some toughness too as well. Through our strength conditioning people and his staff, and I think the culture piece really is huge too as well. During this time of year, so we'll get to spring ball right after spring break, and then have our spring game April 25th. Right now is kind of the date that we have penciled in. But I think the most important thing for us right now is just getting around our guys and really, like I said earlier, like building relationships with those guys and getting to know them, not just from the football side of things off of it, but personally too as well. And then really like going to work here genetically with them and trying to do everything we can to give them every advantage we can as far as getting those guys bigger, faster, and stronger.
You've been, you've been busy since the second you got here. What's just kind of the adjustment been like for you? Have you gotten kind of into a rhythm just with trying to settle things into place under your scheme now? Yeah,
I mean, obviously a lot of meetings, a lot of protocols to be able to follow, and making sure that, how that has jived here in the past with what my vision is here moving forward, I think is the biggest thing, and it's been awesome. Chad Carthauser's been, amazing. Obviously, Bill Chaves and Eric Martinson and their vision, and them being able to be able to help me, just with some of the policies and procedures that are helping here. And anytime you have people that have been, in those positions for a number of years, they know who to talk to, how to make it work, and all that kind of stuff. So I've been really, happy and just, thankful that, of Bill and Eric and Cart and how they've been able to help the transition process here too as well. And then, the biggest thing is getting this thing, I feel like, off the ground and hitting the ground running. And I think that's the one thing that I've been really pleased with here. The first 2 days is coaches out there coaching and getting around their guys, and the players responding in the right way, and them obviously learning some new things here too as well, as far as how things are going to be run and schedules and how we communicate and all that kind of stuff. So, kids are resilient. I think, they do a great job of, you got to show them the path and what you're looking for, and they're on board here. I think they're hungry. We use the word starving, for success, and they want to be shown, hey man, like, how's what's the right path for me to be on, for me to be successful. And I really feel good about the plan that we have in front of them now, and they just got to follow the protocols, and we can make them the best version of themselves.
How much of a boost is it, too, to get some guys that have had reps in FBS programs, especially bringing over Javance and Bennett from San Diego? Yeah,
I think it's huge, right? Like, I was around the San Diego State basketball program there for a year, and I thought the one thing that Coach Dux did there was he always seemed a way to stay old, right? Like through the portal, like they were always a mature, basketball team. And the best football teams that I've been around, you have really mature guys in the locker room. Like I said before, like they understand that, hey, this is a process. Don't worry about the outcome. Like day by day, inch by inch, that's how you're going to get better here. We say relentless pursuit of continuous improvement. Like that's what we're about in all aspects of our lives. So I think that's huge. Those guys, trying to get guys, in the portal, just putting a premium on snaps. Like these guys have played, at their prior institutions. They've been able to get to the top of the depth chart for a reason and have produced on game day, and that was a huge emphasis for us.
Probably a little bit early to ask about the QB position, but bringing in Javance, kind of a competition there. What do you expect from Javance and Simon, as well as all the QBs?
Yeah, no, I like our QB room. I think, iron sharpens iron. Like we're bringing in competition, and if our guys are real guys, which I think they are, they welcome it. You know what I mean? They want to come in here and be like, hey, man, I want this to, I want to be, like I said, the best version of myself. I want that competition. There's no promises made to anybody off of this thing. Even talking to Simon, obviously, he was the guy a year ago off of it, but we're going to play the best guys in 2025. We're not going to play the best guys in 2024, and Simon knows that he's got to go out there and earn this thing. And, one thing with Simon, he'll be out of spring ball just with a shoulder surgery situation here, and so he just had that done, and I think the one thing that I really has hit me with him is just he's a confident dude off of it. He's got that quiet confidence. I think the guys in the locker room really rally around him, and he's a huge culture piece, for our program off it. So I really respect that about him. And even these early days here, you can tell like he's chomping at the bit to be able to get out there. And his number one job now here is to get healthy so he can have a great summer and a great fall camp. So, that'll obviously open things up, for the other guys there too as well to be able to get reps, and excited about that. There's some guys there, had some conversations with Jerry too as well. Like it's time, for him to evolve and to be a guy here that, can lead a college football team. So Javance knows it. He knows what he's in for. Coming here off of it, he's been in competition his entire life, and it's going to be no different here as we move forward. Those guys are going to have to earn every snap they get.
And you've talked about building the culture here as well. How much has it helped in the portal and in recruiting overall to have support from the collective, and also with the new facilities coming up as well?
Yeah, I think, the collective's been huge. Obviously, that's a big part, of college football nowadays off of it, and having those guys be able to have those meetings, and for us to be able to take some of those stressors off their life coming here. I just think it sends a message to every kid that steps foot on campus, like, hey, man, this place is it has the machinery, it has the resources in order for us to be successful. Then you look at the facilities too, and just the commitment from, Dr. Armenkost, the vision that Coach Schweigert, Bill Chaves, I'll go back to again too as well, Eric Martinson. Like there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and time and effort put into what is coming on board here in about a week. So our guys are fired up about it. They're excited about it. It's just I think it makes their student athlete experience and just the developmental piece, like everything is well thought out of to be able to be as efficient as we can be, and making sure that those guys get the very best of everything when it comes to their experience here at North Dakota.